What's up everybody, it's Kiyodo and welcome back to another SMT Dx2 video. Today we're doing more PvP and this time I'm going to be showing you an anti-status ailment team that works because we have Kinmamon. This is a multi-fusion demon that anyone can summon. It's a 3-star, you just gotta level it up a bit and evolve it. And there's a lot of skills that work with them like Mecharmdi, Memutudi, Meparaladi, or if you're really lucky you can have things like Prayer or Silent Prayer to make yourself more flexible. I threw on Resist Ice because in case there is an ice demon then I have that covered, but usually there's not too many in the meta, at least for right now, so you don't have to worry about that if you don't have Resist Ice. And what I do with my brands is I stack life on top of lead so that I make sure that my Kinmamon goes first, even if he's not the fastest on the team, which gives you a little bit more flexibility as well. And as for the rest of the team, you don't have to worry so much. That's also very flexible depending on what you have. I do like to have Mass Revive with Quetzalcoatl on there just in case you get killed by some shenanigans, but that's preference to be honest. So the strategy here is to get your opponents to use Barrier Break and or a status ailment so that on your turn you can pretty much get rid of that before the rest of your team goes and just continue slaughtering them as you please. So something to note for Kinmamon, I don't think he's very good on defense teams because if you're not fighting a status ailment team, then there's really no point of using him and he tends to use very weird skills if there's no status affliction going on. So you kind of do have to watch out for that. This is more for your offensive teams and it's kind of a niche pick anyways, but very, very useful if you do use it properly. So overall, Kinmamon's a really good boy. He's a very flexible demon, and I think that a lot of people should be using them a lot more often, especially because when you see a lot of status ailment teams in the meta, they're not really all that strong because they're using a status ailment demon, and that kind of takes up a slot because they're mostly dedicated to doing status ailment affliction, and if you get rid of that, it's pretty much just taking them away. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a few matches on the enemy team with different status ailment inflictions. They don't always get them off, but when they do, it's not a problem. Enjoy. Alright, first fight, it looks like we have a double status team, maybe. Trumpeter, there for the Mute. Mute is actually really annoying, especially if you don't have physical attackers. Purple Mothman, so I'm gonna assume that it's going for Charm on it as well, but I guess we'll see. But then again, there's also Bind, so that's a thing. But also we have Mutant, so that's a thing. And Yada's probably going to go first, so that means that this is going to be the Barrier Break, and there's not really much else it can do. It is red Yada, so it can single target, but then again, doesn't really do that much damage. It's Yada. And Yoshi, probably a big deal if I didn't use Repel Fizz, but we are, so that pretty much counters it. Our team here, Double Sweeper, we have Mass Revive, and Meat Balloon is in here just because, you know, shenanigans could happen, so there's that. Let's go ahead and start this. I've never fought this team before, but double status ailment is not that good. Trumper is pretty good as kind of hybrid. It does a lot of damage anyways. And Mute is super annoying, like I said. So we'll have to see. Sometimes you gotta get lucky. But if you have Kinmamon, not so big a deal. Let's see what they do first. What the heck, Tarunda? Okay, that's pretty weird. No Barrier Break? What? Alright, well then, I guess we don't have to worry about that. So, I know they're really fast and we have Secunda, but, dang it! I mean, I guess I should have figured that. Oh well, I just like playing around. This is why things don't always work, but it's okay. So let's see here. Pass. Probably don't need to kill anything really, except maybe Trumpeter is my biggest threat. Yeah, there's the Barrier Break. Really weird that he did that first. Hasatobi, but then again, if you hit the crits, Meat Balloon's there to give them auto Tarunda, basically. So that's kind of nice. We don't have to worry about that. And we could get rid of the Concentrate if we really wanted to. But let me go ahead and rotate through. If I don't kill him, then we'll probably think about it. Enduring Soul is quite weird. But looks like we didn't have to worry about Concentrate, so yeah, that's not a thing. And we're gonna hit the Yoshi, who's actually dealing somewhat of damage. And yeah, it's not really too much. We don't want to hit Maragi. Force is like okay here. And because Ku's gonna die, I think I just want to get a little bit of damage out, and that was actually really worth it. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, Do your thing, Kinmamon. Bam! That's right, finish them off with a tickle. Alright, next team. This is, another Mute team, but then again, I think that their Alila is going to have Charm, especially when the HP is only 1200. That's really, really low for an Alilot. So I don't know if that's really good on defense, you know? Probably want it to be a little bit tankier than that. I think they're trying to save face with this purple Ananta here. But that's pretty common. I guess they threw all their good brands on Ananta. Null Charm Huangdi, not a problem because we don't use status ailments on this team at least. And Trumpeter's just there. Red Trumpeter though, because Judgment and Judgment is actually really cool. I like this skill a lot. I don't know if they're going to use it or not though, so there's that. And also it's a little bit slow, it takes some wind up, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And to be honest, their team is really not that tanky, so they could get wiped out pretty fast, which is exactly what I'm trying to do. So let's see what they do. I have a feeling that one of the units are going to have Barrier Break if they're running double status, but that's kind of a waste of a skill slot, so I guess we'll see. Let's just guess Warcry on Ananta, which is like pretty much everybody's setup, with Resist Force. Rakunda! Interesting. And Mind Break, which is really weird. Wow. Wow. Wow, that's actually devastating. Oh my god. The Mind Break. But, yeah, let's go ahead and deal with this, I guess. So we have the Mass Revive for these types of shenanigans, like I said earlier. And, it looks like I might need it. It's kind of a big deal, I want to say. So, I don't think it's a good time to revive. It's the one thing about revive that's not so great is that if you do have Endure, then that kind of stops you from using revives. But then again, I still got the attack off, so there's that trade-off there. Kind of have to look at it with both sides of the card. And I think Force is covered for the weakness, no fire resistance, so that's probably the better option here. And I'll probably pass on that anyways, to be honest. So let's see here. There's really not much I can do. So Megadola, we can maybe get a hit off here, but I don't know. I don't know if we want to do that really. Let's go ahead and hit the Trumpeter, which is going to do nothing really, to be honest with you. And yeah, let's just go ahead and do this again. Bam. Really not used until they hit us with some sort of status, which they haven't actually. That's as to be expected. And surprisingly, no walk off. Okay. That's cool. Let's see how it is. Let's do this again. They do have Yinlong Killer, though, and I didn't bring an Alilot, which I could have brought and should have brought, to be honest, against this. So, yeah, I guess that's one mistake, and I should have thought about that, but hey, I mean, I'm doing a recording, and when you do recordings, you don't always think things through all the way. I want to guess that Alilot is going to have some sort of Samrecarm, or maybe Recarm drop? But it didn't matter, because we saved the Mass Revive at the perfect moment, so haha, you're dead. And are you dead? Yep, perfect, that's right. We didn't need Alilot, but we probably should have had Alilot in there with the Quets, to be honest. So it looks like we have a stall team here. It's another Alilot, of course, which is probably going to have Charm, just like the other ones. It only has 1600 HP, and when it's not over, I want to say 2200, you can't really expect it to have life brands. It's most likely going to be divine brands. So you have to think that there's Charm on it if it's a somewhat low HP Alilot like that. Especially if there's a Yada on their team, because that's pretty much your barrier break guy. If they do it, unlike that other person that had Rakunda, which is kind of a weird thing to put on there, because then it prioritizes Rakunda instead of your barrier break, and then you just lose your charm. The Heka, which has Life Surge, which very strange option unless he's going for some sort of Samrecarm shenanigans, because you can one-hit KO these guys, and that's sort of a thing in the meta, but I don't like using that myself, even though you can. This is just going to be a slow fight here because it has 3700 freaking HP. But, you know, it doesn't have Fizz Pierce, so it's not a Huangdi problem. And the Rangda, really, really low HP here. So it's probably going to be a stall team with a little bit of charm in there. And I don't believe that Heka's going to have Mecharmdi or anything like that for those shenanigans, because if they did, that would kind of just destroy the point of having that much HP. So let's go ahead and start this. I don't need to change up my team. I know I'm using sweepers, and that's not the greatest thing against Heka. But also, it's not like Heka's that much of a problem. It's only 15% reduction. It's not even a Tarunda, basically, so it could work well with Tarunda, but it's not like you really need that. And yep, exactly. There's the charm, which is expected. This is a full stall team. And purple Yada because they're trying to dodge physical, so Huang Di's probably got to beware. Silent Prayer is really good here. You don't really need it per se because it's more flexible, because you can get rid of the enemy stuff as well, for reasons like this. Because then if I had Charm, I could Charm him back, which is something that I would do if I was using Alilat, but it's not something that you need to do necessarily. So Yada's got really low HP. So does, well, actually a lot of them do, which is a kind of a weird thing. So I'm not really sure what they were going for with this, but I'm not going to chance hitting that Yada with my Shiva, because I don't really have like over 20% in my in my accuracy. So this is kind of balancing it out with the Secunda on top of my brands on the Shiva. So I don't really have to worry too much about that, but there are reasons why that wouldn't work out. Endure, of course, it's the usual case. And it looks like we're going to wipe out all these guys. Almost wipe out all these guys. So just make sure that we finish off the Alilat, and shaboom. This is going to be the rest of the fight. We're just going to hit him with sweeper moves, even though it doesn't matter. And oh my god, Samrecarm, which means he's not covering Resist Dark. This is a little bit crazy. So I have to worry about Mecharmdi, but then again, here's the thing about my comp and with sweepers is that you can just keep sweeping their teams over and over and over, and it really doesn't matter that much. Like, they brought in, what is it, Reiko Kashima to get rid of these Mecharmdi shenanigans, and that isn't really that necessary because Reiko's not that strong statted. So there's a problem there. So one thing that I have going for me on this team here is that I have Mass Revive, so in case this fight does go pretty long, which it might, I don't have to worry about it too much, because you can kind of just do things, and it doesn't really matter that much. Let's see, who do I hit into? You know what? Let's just do this for fun. Boom. Oh, good job. With the defense support ring nerfs, it's actually not so bad, so I'm kind of enjoying that. I think we're really lucky that the Rangda didn't have enough mana to use Mecharmdi here. So yeah, pretty good stuff. I'm just going to keep doing this, sweep it up. There's only one Samrecarm because they're covering Resist Force, so that we know that's all that we're going to have to deal with. Right here is probably not so good. I probably don't want to hit into that either. If I had my Zhao Gongen, Rebellion would actually be a thing, but it's not, because I don't have them with me right now. Not like it matters though, because even if all my guys died, oh yeah, backup plan. Oh good, random mute, and it doesn't even it doesn't even work. Oh nice. That's one of the Dx2 skills that I resent. Is Xionyan. She's just awful. I don't like her, especially because she messes up your Aether runs when you're doing solo demon things with it. But we don't have to deal with that, so that's good. Monagi done. Hits the non-weakness, whatever. And yeah, we're trying to just cycle through stuff. Bing, bang, boom. Slow fight, but hey, it's gonna finish. These are the kind of teams that you kind of want to avoid during the last day of PvP, but this is not the last day of PvP for me, so I don't really care. Hey, you just lowered your HP. Perfect. Oh, at least he's bound, so that's cool. Let's see. Does that kill? Yep. Boom. Heka teams. Doesn't even matter. You have Samrecarm. I don't know. That's a really good choice, because you probably want to cover both options, to be honest. But stall teams don't really work anymore, so I want to tell you that people will probably kill you faster before you can get off your revives and whatnot.